Hi, I have a quick court report for anybody who is interested. I had court yesterday, but no internet, no good internet anywhere, and there was a heat wave here, power outages, that kind of thing. I'm sure that had something to do with it. Anyway, it was a dispositional conference on the witness tampering, the felony witness tampering case against me. And what you're supposed to do at a dispositional conference is talk about how the case is going to proceed. If there's a motion to dismiss or something like that, that it might get discussed, that kind of thing. You know, how things are going to proceed moving forward. But despite me already having twice, had months apart and months ago, introduced motions to get my attorney, who was representing me for a while, Toothaker, who was backstabbing me, might as well have been working for the prosecution. I introduced a motion to get him to withdraw twice, had to do it twice, a couple of months apart. Finally, had to, already met in court about it, Nonetheless, this court date was given over. It was a new judge, because they're always switching around. Different judge. He said that the clerk of courts, or clerks of court, brought him up to date, or one of them did. They're not even supposed to give legal advice, but he said, they brought me up to date, so I'm up to speed on your case. And he just kept asking over and over again, like, are you sure you want to proceed pro se as your own representative? And then he'd ask me about my education, and then go back and ask the same question. Are you really, really sure? Because if you make any kind of little mistake, anything like that, you're going to be held accountable. We can't let it slide just because you're proceeding pro se. And then he was asking me about if I wanted to get representation or counsel or something. And I said, well, I'd love that, but in practice it just doesn't work out, because as soon as they appoint an attorney, the attorney takes over the case and basically starts falling down on the case. So it just, in practice, it just doesn't work. He said, oh, no, we'll take care of that later. We'll settle that later. Are you really, really, really sure, given all that you want to proceed? You want to do this? But he wouldn't discuss details, and never did. And as far as I know, that's not actually possible. He was suggesting that it was possible to get somebody to just answer questions for me without representing me. But like I say, it doesn't work in practice. So, according to the Maine public defender system, I don't know, it sort of doesn't seem possible with them either. But whatever. So maybe I think I'm going to put in a motion or a writ for a request for them to pay for an attorney to do that. If the judge, this judge, and just kind of quote him, say, you said I could get this, can I? You're going to pay for it? In a polite way. Don't offend the judges. Anyway, so that went on for like 20 minutes, though. I just kept asking again and again, are you sure you want to do this? Because you're going to be held accountable. Are you sure you want to do this? You're going to be held accountable. And then we finally get to, after like 15 minutes, who knows, it seemed a little longer. I'm pretty sure it's at least 15 minutes of him doing this in various ways, over and over again. And then we finally get to what's supposed to be discussed. And the judge asks about a motion to dismiss, which I introduced, to dismiss the witness tampering case for lack of probable cause, and a few other reasons. And the DA said, I just printed it out just this morning. I haven't had a chance to look at it, Your Honor. And how it's supposed to, according to the rules, I have to submit it to the DA's office a week prior to this dispositional conference. The DA is supposed to be prepared to discuss it. If not, then, whatever. So, but the judge is going to let that slide. But okay, that's not a hard and fast rule per se. And I also introduced a motion to record the grand jury transcripts, because I'm not officially charged with this crime yet. It has to, because it's a felony, it has to go through the grand jury. And if they're not supposed to use perjured testimony, lies, if they know that they're lies, and they know what the evidence they're citing, these allegations by Dan Rock are lies, because they have the video evidence to prove that. And so I want to make sure that gets recorded, and that way they can't use his lies to convict me or indict me before the grand jury, I might not even be charged with this crime officially. Right now it's just an allegation, basically. And the judge mentioned that, and that's, DA didn't have anything to say about that at that time. And then the judge asked about a motion to revoke bail. And this was a surprise to me. I just found out about it. The DA is supposed to give me this a while ago, a motion to revoke bail. In other words, he was trying to have me thrown back in jail. And he just happened to forget, he didn't say. He never had to offer an excuse. Because he just said, the judge said something like, I guess you want to, we're going to continue that. And the DA just said, yeah, or something like that. And I said, I said, excuse me, Your Honor, I never got a copy of this motion. I did know about it at that point because the clerk, one of the clerks had mentioned it to me, but not from the DA's office, and only, not in a timely manner, as according to the, it should be according to the rules. And again, the judge just let it, no consequence was it. So I don't get any slack because I'm proceeding pro se, so I have to be accountable for every little mistake. He kept saying, you make any little tiny mistake, you're going to be held accountable for it. And lectures me like that, and in various ways, for for the vast majority of the meeting, the conference, and then he lets the DA just slide on rules. Like, it's not, oh, you'll get that later, just ask the clerk about it, is what he said when I said that. Just like, yeah, but I could have ended up in jail here today. He was trying to throw in that, this is a complete surprise. I didn't say that, but I should have, or maybe I shouldn't have, but I could have, and it would have been correct. So it's just, I don't know. They're not, and I don't think the judge was corrupt exactly. It's just they're so used to doing things a certain way and certain things just never being challenged. They just, and so certain rules, the DA just can get away with them, unless you, but yeah, so anyway. So I didn't end up in jail. I'm still on house arrest here in my prison. And thanks. Keep fighting. Keep fighting. Peace.